Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the Mean Jimmy Gamer, Nick, or the heck you want to call me, and I'm joined here by the lovely, the one, the only Dakota Styles Life from Instagram.
Hola? Although, I've been shadow banned. Like, actually, so...
Hola, soy Kota.
Don't really do anything on that Instagram account anymore.
Yeah.
Besides just book reviews, but all I really do is link to my Goodreads and stuff, so
But
it
if you
doesn't really
guys
matter
do
anyway.
want to see more of Kota, and hopefully help her get unshadow banned, don't be afraid to follow her on Instagram. The links are down below in all of my YouTube videos.
The link doesn't work because I'm shadow banned.
Well, it works if you're over 18 and you have an Instagram account. If you're under 18 and you don't have an Instagram account, it won't show you anything because Instagram says whatever Kota posts is like not agree with their policies.
Even though, like, I don't do anything that's against policies.
Oh, I have to hydrate. CM Gamer,
Hey, what's up, CM?
he got me hydrate, so I have to hydrate. I don't drink until I'm told to, so I'm going to drink right now. I'm going to drink some zero sugar Zedia.
And I'm gonna drink some actual water because I care.
I mean, mine's sparkling water.
It's zero sugar, better for you soda. But anyway, you guys might have noticed that we are on a certain power wash simulator.
Yes, we've never played
Water,
this.
not the other stuff, CM says. Yeah, you should be drinking water.
But,
I tell him this. He does not listen.
Well, I usually drink water. It's just tonight I'm going to start off with this and probably do some water after. But right now we are playing some PowerWashing Simulator. We've never streamed this before. We thought it'd be something fun just for like a quick one-off because it's a little late. We don't want to play something strenuous like my Pokemon
No, we just wanted to play something chill.
Or, you know, wrestling. We were going to do wrestling today with CM, but I worked in the yard for 3 hours today.
He was doing that manly work.
And my legs were dead, and I just felt like I don't want to do anything. And that included going over to go pick up my brother. I didn't want to drive. I was like, I'm done. I'm making dinner, and I'm done.
Understandably.
But we had the stream. We actually almost forgot the stream. I went downstairs. I got my laundry.
Yeah, we were about to head to bed.
I put my laundry up to hang to dry for tomorrow, and then we realized, oh shit, we didn't stream. Could actually reminded me. I would have been in sleep. I would have been showered in Sleepy Town. So.
Yeah, he was coming upstairs. I'm like, hey, love. I just realized we have not streamed tonight.
And I was in such shock, I had to repeat herself, because I was like, huh? Like, it just didn't process in my head for a moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had to repeat it a couple times.
I just did not process. But we're here. We're going to start the career.
Yep.
Oh, wow. There's a free play mode? That's cool. The
challenge mode.
I think
start
we're just
career,
gonna do
bonus
the
jobs.
start career just to, start off. So you can play co-op with people online,
Ooh.
but we...
Oh, you can't do on the couch?
No, you can't do
couch co-op?
Maybe eventually they'll update for that. But right now, it's just going to be... I think what we're going to do is maybe we're going to trade the controller back and forth between us. I know originally I said Kota could play it, and I was just going to commentate.
Well, you know what? You start with this one then, because I've done this particular one like 3 times.
Oh, okay. So we're going to go ahead and start. This is from the Harper Show Home Garage.
Harper Shaw.
Great news. Finally found a van for you at the auction under your budgets. Don't freak out when you see it. It looks like it's been dredged from the bottom of a lake. Shout out to Dredge. If you like dredging from bottoms of stuff, we played a game about that, basically. That was a horror game, so...
Mm-hmm.
Make sure and check that out, guys. But
damn good game, too.
But that's a good thing. It means no one else bid on it. They missed out. Underneath that hideous layer of gunk is your perfect workhouse. Workhorse. Engineer's a dream.
Okay.
No rust. There's even equipment in the back. Just needs a good hosing down. You're in business. You're certainly earned your pressure wash stripes getting this thing clean. Alright, so let's go ahead and go. By the way, guys, just want to mention...
Sorry, I keep correcting out loud. I don't mean to do that.
I just want to mention this, okay? So, I'm pretty sure this van is our van. Like, it was bought for us as, like, essentially a gift, okay?
Yeah.
But somehow, this is a job we're going to get paid.
Not a gift, but someone else went out and bought it with our money.
But this is a job. Cleaning it, we're going to get $150 still. Who's paying us?
Well, it's under our budget. So what if it's $150 that we got back from what we gave the guy for buying it? So he gives us $150 back. He's like, hey, it was $150
so
under your budget.
We're going to work for our own money back. That's hilarious. Alright, so this is the game. So basically what you do is you take this hose here and you spray.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of spray all the things.
Spray.
Oh my gosh, no, please, not that song.
You're right, it's such a terrible song.
All I do is spray. Earlier, I think it was actually yesterday, me and Kota talked about just like songs and
We've been talking about songs a lot lately because I just made a new playlist, which, I mean, if you're interested, I might start sharing my Spotify playlists if anybody's interested in that. I've never really thought about that until just now. But yeah, I might start doing that.
That is an interesting idea. So it's songs. It's supposed to be happy songs, and we were talking about. Oh wow!
It
chimes at you after. Whoa!
Yeah. So it lets you know when you're done with that thing.
I wish that happened in real life after you clean something. That'd be crazy. Yeah. Can you imagine just doing dishes and the dish chimes at you?
That'd be amazing for you. Not to say you do a terrible job.
Oh wow, it's good.
But you don't do the best job.
You have like different nozzles for like different kind of style of spraying, which is really
for different like pressures too. So you've got like smaller nozzle. You can also crouch too. You have to crouch sometimes to get in other crevasses.
I have a crouch. I had no idea.
Yeah, you have a crouch.
I don't know why, but just got... So today while I was doing yard work, I was listening to the Super Carlin Brothers Harry Potter podcast.
Oh, I thought you were actually listening to the Harry Potter audio.
So I started to, but then I realized I need to get caught up on that podcast because I'm actually ahead of them right now on my book. And I was like, well, I'm going to like read the book and like... Basically, it's like a pseudo book club for me. Is the way I'm looking at, where it's like after every chapter, I'm going to start like... listening to their chapter breakdown that they've been talking about.
Yeah.
And like see if there's things that I caught maybe they didn't mention, because they read the comments on their podcasts of like interesting things they see in the comment section. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna comment things that maybe they didn't mention. One of the things they mentioned on chapter 3 when they went to Harry went to Diagon Alley. And he went into the wrong alley. He went to Nocturne Alley by accident using the flue powder.
Mm-hmm.
First thing they mentioned was the fact that this is when they first introduced flue powder. And recently in the Hogwarts Legacy, they introduced the creator of flue powder and the purpose of it.
Yeah.
And now everybody hates her.
Why does everybody hate her?
Because when you walk by her, she'll say one of 3 things to you. Constantly in the statue.
Well, this is true. She's annoying.
But also they were talking about how in Diagon Alley there's only
a reason to hate her.
They theorize that flue powder is made from phoenix feathers.
Yeah, probably.
Because Dumbledore uses his phoenix to disappear.
Yeah, to like teleport basically.
And also the only place that you can get flue powder is people in Diagon Alley that sells it for cheap that don't reveal where they get them.
Mm-hmm.
And who is right next to them that happens to have phoenix feathers that won't reveal where he's getting them? Ollivander. his store is in Diagon Alley, and he does not reveal where he gets his feathers from, assumingly it's not from Dumbledore. Of course.
Well, also supposedly Fawkes is like one of the last of his kind, if not the last Phoenix.
Yeah.
So it would have to be Fawkes.
Unless they don't, because this is the shop in Diagon Alley, no one's allowed to go into. You have to knock for them to actually talk to you. Assumingly, they have at least one Phoenix that they keep getting the feathers and dust from, and they just sell it off to the highest bidder, or I guess the lowest bidder in the Floo powder community. But the thing I really want to mention was the fact of, so Harry, in the scene in the book, when he jumps out of the fireplace into the shop, that you have the scene with with Draco and Draco's father, Mr. Malfoy, they actually make reference to stuff you see in other books. Like, example, the cabinet that Harry hides in when they start walking in.
Oh, it is the Vanishing Cabinet.
It's the Vanishing Cabinet. And assumingly the reason why he doesn't just appear in Hogwarts is because he doesn't shut the door all the way. Well, at this point, the cabinet's not broken. Filch didn't break it yet. Filch breaks it in a different book.
Does he? I kind of assumed it was just, like, broken for a very long time.
No, I had no idea about this, but apparently at some point Filch actually breaks it by accident. I'm gonna see if I pay attention to see, like, what book it is. But I thought that was really interesting. But he hides in the Vanishing Cabinet, and look in the other stuff that's around them. So Draco and Mr. Malfoy's in there, okay? And Harry's, like, commenting on all the stuff that's around them. And guess what's around them? The opal necklace. That he tries to kill Dumbledore with. It's on display in the shop. And what else
is it described as an opal necklace in the book?
Yes, it is.
I'm asking these questions because I don't remember small details like that from the books.
So Harry just oh, there's a message. I can't read it. I'm too focused on PowerWash Simulator. It's gone now.
Yeah, I don't know. That's probably a text from someone. You get those, like, as you're doing jobs.
Yeah, so
text from clients and stuff.
Harry describes it as an opal necklace, and the other thing that's in there is, of course, the poison that he tries to poison Dumbledore with. Because they're just different vials of poison, and Neville, not Neville, I keep saying Neville, but Draco's...
You do that a lot.
I know, I mix those two up for some reason. They're very different characters.
I know.
But Draco's father
That's why I'm so confused about why you always mix them up.
Draco's father is selling poison to them to assumingly get it out of their house. So he either got it from there, just rebuying the stock, because during that book 6, he keeps going back and forth between there.
Yeah.
Or he got it from his father, because even the guy that owns the shop said, there's no way this is all the poison you have in your shop. At your shop, in your house. Like, when he walks away, he calls bullshit on him.
Interesting.
Other thing is the hand. The thief's hand. Which is something else he gets later on, too. And they just thought that was
Is that something he gets later on?
Yeah, I don't remember. I guess in the book at some point, he actually gets that hand.
Draco does?
Yeah. I know in the movie he doesn't. But in the movie, they also cut out a bunch of stuff,
They do, yeah. You gonna go with that business name, or do you need me to think some up? I'm phenomenal. I thought up Growling Thomas for that. Oh, let's go. Again, we're still on a tiny screen, by the way.
Yeah.
Across from us.
Don't worry, guys. When I get my...
So, we don't need glasses. It's just tiny TV. This is like a 32-inch, I think.
So,
and we're sitting across the room in the living room.
So either A, we need to get a bigger TV for the living room.
Well, that's 100% certain.
Or
yes.
B, we really need to... I need to get the streaming area cleaned up so we can stream downstairs again.
I mean, probably both, but we do need a bigger TV up here.
Kota's saying that because she'd be interested in having it just to watch TV.
Well, yes.
Of course, I
That's
would.
exactly what
I
it's
would
for.
too. She's been eyeing this TV that looks like a portrait.
Oh my gosh, the frame. Yes,
Yeah.
I want the frame so bad, so I can just have it as like artwork. I'm that person in art galleries, by the way. I could just sit, like if I had the time to, I could sit and just stare at artwork for hours. So, my thought is that it might even deter me from watching so much TV. Because I don't even really like watching TV all that much. Actually, the only thing I really watch is YouTube.
Yeah, we used to actually have cable for a little bit, but we actually got rid of that because
It was overpriced.
It was overpriced, and we watched Ghost Adventures and Impractical Jokers.
Yeah, we watched two things. And I watched also My Cat from Hell. Because I love Jackson Galaxy. And I will listen to every single tip he ever has concerning cats. Love the man, but he's not a gamer. He was playing Stray, and he was just trying to learn the basic fundamentals of just video gaming in general. You have a nozzle that basically does that for you.
Yeah, it's not unlocked yet. But yes, there is a nozzle like that later on.
Are you sure you don't have it yet? It's a thin white nozzle.
Nope, but it's an unlockable later.
What's that little red one? Well, that one kind of does it.
It's just
very
a
small.
steady stream. I mean, I guess I could do it with this. I just liked doing with the thick one because I thought they were cool.
So you need the grill, 2 of the windows, and the wing mirrors.
What's wrong with the grill? Oh.
There you go. And 2 of the windows, I don't know which ones.
I guess one of them's this one.
You can also turn the nozzle too.
Yeah. Yeah, I turned it already once. No, that window's good. Like, this mirror is messed up, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 2 wing mirrors are like the rear view mirrors.
Oh, okay, right there.
Mm-hmm.
This is good.
Oh, it's that left one,
Oh, it's
yeah.
this one here. Yep, it's this one here. Get it?
And then the other wing mirror.
Oh, yeah. Sweet.
There you go. Oh, is it
Yay.
my go on the next one?
Yep, it is yours. So, job is... What the heck is happening? Oh, it's showing a
Yeah,
quick...
it gives you a time lapse.
Jesus, saves me some time editing. Amazing. There you go.
Continue.
Alright, so now we're going to do the backyard.
Am I able to, like, shop yet?
Oh, yeah, probably. We got $150.
Power washers, equipment,
Clothing.
cleaning liquids, modifications. Well, I think probably what we need to go with first is equipment and power washers.
Yeah, I think so
Let's
too.
see. Turbo nozzle, short extension, long extension. Ooh, soap nozzles, long extension.
So, from what I understand watching other people play this, the soap kind of sucks.
Well, you're just talking about Markiplier. Well, this one's 250. It's more than.
I mean, we watched Mark play it. I'm pretty sure we watched Jack play it at some point. Pat definitely played it once. I don't think any of them used the soap. And if they did, they just didn't like it.
I think we buy, and buy. So we have a short extension, a long extension, and a turbo nozzle.
Sweet.
It's very simple one.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
There. Continue. So now we're doing the back garden. Ooh, I love this one.
Oh, Kota had me do the truck because she wanted to do the fun one.
It's okay. The next one's fun too.
Is it the skate park? Or no, it's the playground, isn't it?
No, the next one is like some driveways and a house. I think it's a whole house. Is the next one. This one's just like a backyard, but then the next one is like a whole house.
So our neighbor was power washing today. While I was outside cutting the grass.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I just wanted to note are family enough. My first girlfriend's fiance's present used. Okay, I don't know what that story was going to.
I don't know either.
Can we please get just TLDRs, please? Just give us TLDRs. They go by way too quick. But yeah, our neighbor with power washing, and the thing that I noticed about it is the fact that we're wearing like some kind of hazmat suit to power wash. And our neighbor was just out there power washing in a t-shirt and shorts.
Yeah, you don't really need equipment.
So why?
I think it's more of a professionalism thing in the game. Because also I notice, like, whenever I see the videos of professional people power washing, sometimes they do wear, like, fancy gear and stuff. And other times they're just wearing, like, some jeans and some boots or something. The biggest common denominator is that I see people wearing some sort of, like, waterproof or water resistant boots.
Yeah, that's probably one that really comes in handy too. Whoa,
oh, that's the one.
Hey, you found it, Kota.
I don't like the sensitivity on this.
Is it the control thing, or is it actually the nozzle?
No, the controller.
Do you want to turn it down?
Maybe.
No. But yeah, that was a lot of my day. I was listening to Super Carlin Brothers to the Griffin Door, doing some yard work, cut the grass. I cut down a tiny tree today, actually.
Oh, you did? Which one?
Yeah, so underneath our deck, we have like a little kind of a pseudo garden area. It's got these plants that grow in every year. Usually have like these tall flowers and stuff, and there's like a flower bush next to it.
Uh-huh.
So in those plants that grow in every year, I noticed that there was one stem that was big and okay, just kind of cheated you of like the spots you didn't get, whatever.
Yeah. Sometimes that's nice about this game. Other times it's kind of annoying.
So like there were some stems that was like, oh my gosh, it's kind of like leafy. Like where the other stems that pick up from these little bushes are like flowery, this one was kind of leafy. And I got to looking at it, and it was just a whole mini tree growing underneath our deck. So I did what any responsible homeowner would do, and I cut it down.
Yeah, you didn't even tell me about that.
Because I was just like, this is ridiculous. This is gonna like go through our deck, basically.
It's insane.
I just forgot about it until
Which side was that on?
It wasn't the side. It was on the right side, underneath, like directly underneath the edge. So I don't think it would have actually gone through our deck, but it had the potential of doing it if it was growing up and outwards. So we got like a little handsaw, and I hand sawed it off because it was thick enough where I could just hand saw it. And we actually currently have a pile of sticks outside that we need to like burn.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of threw it on there.
Yeah, from cutting out a bunch of bushes from the front that were dead or dying or just really like unmanageable anymore.
So we did it about mid-March, and we did some research, and it turns out our city doesn't let burning happen unless it's like between April and November or whatever.
I think it's August, but yeah.
We had to hold off on doing it.
Yeah.
And now we're both working, so it's super hard to make time to do it now. Because when we did it, we were like, we had time. We could just sit there and watch it and chill for a day. But like now it's just like, gosh, we need to schedule a whole thing. And like, there's no way it's all going to burn like all in one day. So we got to make sure and watch it the whole time. And it's annoying. It's so annoying. If they just didn't have restrictions like that, just let us burn whatever we want to. It would just be a lot simpler.
On one hand, there's reasons why they have those restrictions, but in our city, not all of those restrictions make sense.
I know what you're thinking too, like it could stop forest fires. We're not in a forest fire kind of area. Like it can happen, but like typically it doesn't. So I don't even think it's because of that, because we're not in California. Like California, like they have very strict burning rules for a good reason.
No, we're in Illinois.
I would never damn them for that. Illinois is just super strict about fires. I think partially it's because Chicago famously had a fire that almost burned down most of the city. But that's like way up there. We're like down by St. Louis, so like, why you gotta bring those politics down here? It's so stupid. They do it with everything though, guys.
Well, because it's not an Illinois rule though. It's our town rule.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully...
And our town, unfortunately, has a lot of stupid rules like that. Where it's like, okay, on paper I can get why this would be a rule, but it doesn't actually solve the problem it's trying to solve. Or our area doesn't even have that problem at all.
Yeah, like, we don't even get really brush fires around here.
No.
Like, most fires around here...
Like, at all.
...are human-caused...
House fires, electrical fires, grease fires, restaurant fires, stuff like that.
We have dumpster fires sometimes.
Very rarely, but yeah. Very rarely.
Like, that's what they mean when they say hot trash. Just a dumpster fire. But yeah, we get those typically. We don't get like we have forests. Not to say we don't have forests, but
we've got woods. We've got small woods. We've got big woods.
But in my whole life, I've
have
never encountered like forests, like our woods, like burning up. I think I've encountered more flooding, and we're not even like riverside or anything.
Yeah, we don't get much flooding, but if it happens, it's pretty bad. I mean, right next to us, we have a fairly large creek.
Yeah, and it flows into a river just a little farther down.
Yeah.
Kaskaskia, I'm pretty sure it flows into, actually.
It might. I'm not sure if this one does, but it might.
I looked it up at some point. I thought it was that. Maybe I could be thinking of a different river. But it's a pretty big river around us. Like, it's not the biggest river because we're right by the Mississippi, but like it's one of the bigger rivers around here too. And how did somebody let their doghouse get so dirty? Look at that. I hate to see the dog. I bet the pet groomers around here make bank if people leave their dog houses look like this. This is like borderline abuse of the animal, right? Like, we have cats, and like every once in a while we wash our cat beds when they look like they're getting nasty. So I couldn't imagine having a doghouse and just being okay that it looks like this. Because this is not like it just happened one night. This is like over time, they just neglected it and now it just looks like crap. Especially because, like, look at all, like, the black spots on it. What could that be? Is that, like, black mold, possibly?
I don't know. MatPat's theory is that it's soot from these people, like, living near a volcano.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just they would everybody to have minor lungs too, though, because there's no way you can breathe in that much. Well,
that's why MatPat was like. So, the only reason why I think he did a theory is because Markiplier played this game and then was like, "Oh, MatPat has to do a theory on this game. Like, there's something wrong with this game." And so MatPat finally made a video about it, and he's like, well, everyone's basically dead because if you're breathing in that much soot, you're basically dead.
It makes me think of that famous scene from Avatar where Roku's fighting the volcano, where like he got hit by just a freaking one steam in the face, and he was just like dead. Basically, he was dizzy, weak, because he got hit directly in the face by it, and he was done. And yes, you guys are seeing it right. Kota can toggle, and it looks like Cheeto dust, and it's pretty freaking hilarious. I can't help but just imagine now this is all just some giant person's Cheeto mess everywhere when you do that. Mm-hmm. Like he was eating.
It's like those Cheetos commercials. Like who ate the Cheetos?
He ate some,
and then they turn on the black light looking for the dust.
And it's on everyone.
Yeah.
And someone just like made a big mess with their cheesy poofs. I don't know what you're missing on this doghouse, to be honest.
Nothing. I was actually just making sure that there was nothing else.
Boo, boo, doo, 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 doo.
That was really like the best music for this.
It is. I'm gonna have to use it when I edit this video. Whee! In case you guys are wondering, I'm pretty sure power washing in real life is dissatisfying too.
Oh, it totally is.
I feel like this game really did make a lot of power wash sales for some company out there.
Oh, it totally did.
And whoever they are, they're just...
Not for just one company. It also, I think, inspired people to start power washing businesses, because I noticed a bunch of like brand new power washing businesses started after this game came out.
And I'll be honest,
because it's actually kind of easy. It's actually kind of easy. You just have to be willing to put in the work.
And also buy the equipment, of course.
And buy the equipment,
and the soaps and, all the necessary stuff. In real life, I would definitely recommend using soap on things. Like, in this game, I don't know if it makes a big difference, really. I mean, but like,
I think it's worth a try.
But like,
especially on like the skate park map or something.
In real life, like, soap.
Use soap on everything. On
otherwise,
your hands,
depending on what you're cleaning.
On your dishes. Yeah. On your dog.
On your wife, on your kids, like, everything. But in real life, like, depending on what you're cleaning, if you don't use soap on it, it could actually just make it more disgusting.
This is true. Yeah, you can, like, spread dirt around.
Yeah, spread dirt around, get grease on things, like mold. If you're cleaning, like, anything moldy. Like, I was thinking this could be black mold. If this was black mold, like, you want to like make sure and sanitize whatever the F that is, you know?
Yeah, like you're using bleach.
Yeah, like you're
If
mixing
it's
like
black mold, you're using bleach.
the strongest. You're using the strongest washers on it, and like what we're wearing right now. If this was black mold, we would have to wear this.
Oh yeah.
It's not exactly the safest thing to.
No, you just if you breathe it in, it's like hell on your system.
Yeah.
Black mold can actually cause asthma. I read somewhere.
Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of
There's a lot of things that can cause asthma, but
everybody just
black
ignores
mold
every single day.
Black mold is like one of the biggest things.
Well, my least favorite thing is people are just kind of ignorant about it is any kind of smoking, vape, cigarettes,
Yes.
cigars. Like cigars,
People act like vaping is not smoking. Guys, it is the same thing as smoking.
And Kota has a stepdad. He doesn't smoke, but he loves to smoke cigars.
He smokes cigars.
And he tries to make it seem like... He tries to
act like it's not the same thing, like he's fine, like he's not going to get lung cancer. He smokes at least one cigar a day, guys. One cigar, by the way, is the equivalent of, depending on brand and stuff, it's the equivalent of smoking like 3 cigarettes at a time.
And he gets mad that Kota's mom is just like, you can't do that in here.
In the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
he gets mad that he's not allowed to smoke in the house.
Like, I'm sorry, but like...
But like, she's also got... They have dogs.
She doesn't want... She probably doesn't want to also breathe it out. I've seen him give her crap about, well, I want to spend time with you, but I also want to smoke a cigar. It's just like a little
even outdoors, like... He'll be smoking his cigar,
because he's that.
And she doesn't want to stand right next to him when he's smoking it because she doesn't want the smoke in her face.
He's that person,
and he gets mad.
That doesn't try to like blow it away from people.
He doesn't care where he
blow it whenever.
Oh,
it's terrible. But that's just everyone that just has like denial and stuff too. I've seen people smoking vapes that are just like. Just blow it wherever, because it's just water vapor. It's fine.
It's not just water vapor, guys. It is not.
Unless
you are getting like a specific one that is just water vapor. Look, if you're getting like a flavored one, if you're getting one that has if you're getting any of the generic ones, it is not just water vapor. It's got nicotine. It's got all the same chemicals in it as cigarettes do. It is no better for you.
And if it doesn't have like nicotine in it and it's flavored, there's a good chance.
It's still going to have chemicals.
Unless it's labeled that it's like natural, which I would even question what is natural. It's probably going to have aspartame, maybe even high fructose corn syrup, you know?
Oh, yeah, because they put that shit in everything.
They put that shit in everything.
They put that shit in... See, that's why I corrected, because I'm like, it's like Frank's Red Hot.
It's Frank's Red Hot.
It's the dark side of Frank's Red Hot.
They put that shit in everything.
They put that shit in everything.
Man. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Frank's Red Hot is just like... I think it's a little overrated.
And you're someone who even does like
I do like hot sauce. Hot sauce, like I actually rather have there's one that we have in the fridge right now that's really good. That's like a Mexican hot sauce.
Oh, you're talking about the Cholula sauce.
Yeah, it's way
or the
better.
Sriracha.
No, it's a Cholula. Sriracha's just okay. Sriracha is a little sweet, and I'm not big on that, but the Cholula sauce, I like that it has like a taco kind of seasoning spice to it, you know?
Oh, I see.
That's pretty nice. I wouldn't put that on wings, though. But I also would never opt to put Frank's Red Hots on wings, because, like, Frank's Red Hot just kind of tastes like peppers, you know? It's just hot. That's all it is. It doesn't really have, like, a major flavor palette to it. It's just hot.
Yeah.
And if you're into that, that's cool. Like, I'm someone that likes hot stuff too, but like, usually when I opt for something hot, like, I prefer something that tastes like, you know, like jalapenos or something like that, you know? Like, it's not something that's just like artificially hot. Like, give me something that's more like a natural kind of hot to it. But yeah, just, gotta watch out those vapes, especially around children too. Oh
Yes.
my gosh, there was a freaking crazy ad for a movie. Me and Kota looked at each other and was just like, I don't know about this movie, but it looks kind of weird. I'm talking about that comedy about the pregnant woman.
Oh, I watched this trailer and I'm just like, I think this is meant to be a comedy geared towards moms.
I think it's called Babes, and
It's called Babes, and it's about like this one woman who is like starting a family, and then her best friend winds up getting pregnant from a one night stand, and is like struggling with her own stuff, while the other woman is struggling with this new baby, like her new baby, and trying to figure out her responsibilities as a mom and stuff. So it's like them trying to figure it out together, but also separately.
There was one part that really got me because I'm just like, man, people are freaking crazy, and like this was them over exaggerating. But this is something that people probably actually asked doctors. She went to go get like an ultrasound. She was like, well, how's the fetus? Because I didn't know I was pregnant right away, so I did. And she just started naming all this
She's
stuff.
like, I did weed, I've done drugs, shrooms, all this stuff. Alcohol. She's like, before I realized I was pregnant, I was doing all this stuff.
And like I was like, it's a little over exaggerating, but I think the person who wrote the movie was just trying to make the person like as most relatable as possible. So they're just like, let's not say she did one of these things. Let's say she did it all just to kind of get the whole demographic of people who just find out they're pregnant randomly that live a bad lifestyle. I think that's what they did.
Maybe, I don't know.
But I also think it's just super ridiculous. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Why try to normalize shit like that?
That's so much stuff you shouldn't do, especially together.
Like, I've got nothing against, like, experimenting with certain mild things, such as weed or maybe even shrooms. I don't know enough about shrooms, but I got nothing against people who, like, experiment or use for medical reasons, of course.
Oh yeah, of course, because it's proven medically like weed can be beneficial for you.
But the people who get addicted to it, because yes, you can get addicted to it.
You can't get addicted to...
you don't get addicted to the substance. You get addicted to the high.
The feeling. It's the feeling.
Yes, it's the same thing with alcohol. Technically, you don't really get addicted to alcohol. You just get addicted to. Well, it's not a high with alcohol. It's actually a low because it's a depressant.
It's the same kind of logic
you get addicted to the feeling.
It's the same kind of reasoning why people can get addicted to stuff that doesn't have an addiction factor. Like, for example, some people get addicted to just like a certain feeling. Like they love to just like say gambling addiction. Okay. People don't get addicted to gambling. They get addicted to the high of, like, having the risk-reward.
Yeah.
Because if you risk something, you have a bad feeling. But if you win that reward, all of a sudden it's gone, and, like, you love that feeling.
Right.
Like, people get addicted to winning, not the losing. So then when they can't win, they just keep trying to win, and then that's where...
because they're seeking that high.
That's where the gambling addiction comes. So, like...
It's like...
There's no reason why you should be, because there's no chemical substance there, but it's like...
You can also get addicted to, like, foods and drinks. Like, I've been addicted to Rockstars, which is why I'm drinking a Rockstar right now, and I have to be very, very aware of how much I'm drinking them, and be very strict with myself about not drinking very much, because I used to be addicted... And it's not because of anything really about the Rockstar itself. I just was addicted to, number one, the flavor, because I would always get this one specific one. And number two, I was addicted to the caffeine, basically. They use something different that's like not... It's not the caffeine... Because I have ADHD, so caffeine actually has the opposite effect for me. But Rockstar has something in it that actually does give me that awake feeling. And that became addictive to me too. It's also the same thing with coffee. Like, a lot of people get addicted to coffee. They have coffee addictions, and it's not because they necessarily love coffee. It's not necessarily because of the chemical compounds of the coffee. Part of it is the caffeine and like a reliance of dependence that you start to get with the caffeine, but mostly I think it's addiction to the feeling of, you know, the opposite of sleepiness, being awake and aware, even if you do get the jitters and stuff.
Yeah, and there's also just other science based on, like, you talked about food earlier, but
yeah,
it doesn't have to be food in general.
It
could be certain kind of foods. Like, for example, you could be addicted to foods, but like not all foods.
Yeah.
It's like we live in the Midwest, and something that you'll see everywhere is fried food.
Yes.
Like, especially you go to like events and carnivals, like they'll have weird fried food too. Like, so
whole events around fried foods.
Yeah, and like you'll go and you'll have like the basic funnel cakes and like stuff and French fries and stuff like that. Okay. Mm-hmm. But then you'll find like these like food carts that are like selling like fried Oreos, fried Twinkies, and like you think about it, and you're just like, fried
pickles.
They got those as like a novelty. There's no way people are buying those, but they have them at all these events. People buy these.
Yeah.
They're terrible for you, and I think it's because people are addicted to like that, but they're addicted to just stuff being deep fried.
Yeah, because there is like a certain, it's like that greasy flavor. Yeah. There's like a certain flavor it gets when it's fried.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying as a person where I'm superior, because I don't like that. I like fried stuff too. Like, I like a variety of stuff. I like baked stuff, I like fried stuff, I like grilled stuff, but like,
and by the way,
I've never once looked at a fried Oreo like, damn, that sounds amazing. Just
by the
like
way,
a heart attack.
I also want to put it out there, when we talk about foods that are healthy versus unhealthy, we're speaking very generally, because there's a lot of things that are touted as health foods that actually aren't. So we're speaking generally, and when we're not speaking generally, we're speaking from a perspective of actually looking this stuff up,
and we're also
knowing people who have basically gone to school for this stuff, gotten certifications in this stuff,
and the stuff that we're naming of like particular things is just like general observations of us too. Like us naming, like I was naming the fried Oreos, is just like, this might not be something you ever see around your area, but it's just general observation around our areas. And, like, you might have a different phallus there where you live.
A different what?
Phallus. A different phallus.
What?
You might have a different problem. I can't forget. There was a word I was going to use, but I can't remember what.
Sir.
You might have a different problem. Like, I know... Oh, my gosh. I feel like every time I watch an influencer from California, they're eating street tacos.
Oh, I feel like street tacos are so good, though.
But I feel like that's also an addiction too, because I know those things are probably not the best thing to eat. And I feel like I always see vloggers from California just like they're eating street tacos, and it's just like, that's cool.
That's true.
But
New York too.
New York is real, especially pizza in New York too.
And hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
I mean, those are kind of stereotypes, but they're stereotypes for a reason.
I know, like, New York YouTubers that love to talk about just, like, their pizza. How they have, like, this thing where they have to, like, have a pizza, like, every week. Because they're just, like, it's so good, I can't say no to it. And they have, like, their favorite local joints they go to and stuff. And it's just, like, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just, like...
not at all.
Everybody's just got their own problems, is what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah. I kind of have this idea that, in general, everybody is addicted to something, whether they realize it or not.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a certain food that you like can't live without.
Or drinks
and
too, of course.
You know what? It doesn't even have to be something that you ingest. It can also be like, you know, you could be addicted to video games or a certain video.
Well, I was
game.
you said ingest. I was gonna say gum. Some people are addicted to gum.
Yeah.
Like they just need to chew gum to like keep their brain like active constantly, and if they don't, and it doesn't, they just are a little slower on stuff, you know. But yeah, same thing with video games. Some people will be addicted to video games, makeup, style, fashion.
Yeah, people can like live for that stuff in
Something
such a way that it's very toxic.
Something that we don't talk about very much, but should be spoken of, is sports.
Yeah.
I think some people absolutely are addicted to sports. Like, they idolize them like gods.
Well, same thing with any type of celebrities.
Yeah, that too.
There's a lot of people who idolize these people and do treat them as gods and treat them as, like, greater than anyone else.
But I think, like, the sports thing is something I'm mentioning because I'm just like, if you're American and you don't, like, worship a sports ball...
Oh, people look at you like you're crazy.
Weird. You're weird.
Yeah, you're the weirdo.
Yeah, a sports ball. Like, it could be basketball, hockey, football, soccer. If you don't have something that you have an allegiance to sports-wise, you're just the weird one.
Yeah. Says us, because we are the weirdos. That we're like not really into sport.
I know sports terms. I know sports teams. I don't care.
I like tennis. I like softball, kind of, just because I played it.
But we don't follow it though.
Not really, no. Like, I'll sit and watch tennis games. I'll go out and play tennis for fun. But I don't, like, religiously watch... Like, I love Serena Williams, okay? In my opinion, best tennis player in the world. I love her. But I don't religiously follow her. I don't always know what she's doing. I don't pay attention to, like, what she's wearing, what she's eating, what she's watching. You know, I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. I don't worship her. Same thing with soccer. Like, I'll watch a soccer game. I know the basics of soccer. I played soccer at some point. My siblings both played soccer for longer than I did. So, like, I kind of know about soccer. And I could watch it, but I don't. What about you? What's some stuff that you could watch?
Oh, like I could totally watch. I could watch baseball if I really wanted to. I could watch hockey or basketball, especially because I used to like to play basketball. So, like, I understand basketball rules and stuff like that, but I have no idea about teams. I have no idea about, like, actual players I care about or anything like that. I know big ones. Like, I know of, you know, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. But I'm not a actual watcher of the basketball, nor do I actually keep up with any of it at all. It's just kind of something that I know and I could watch, but I don't. Around here, of us especially, because we don't watch the baseball, we get really kind of like weird looks for that.
Yeah, because since we live right by St. Louis, everyone's about the Cardinals. And, like, sure, I enjoy the Cardinals. I enjoy going to a game once in a while. But, like, I don't prioritize that in any way.
No, I think we went to a game once in the last, like...
It was because we got free tickets.
The last 4 years, yeah.
Oh, my phone just died, apparently.
It did.
I don't even know. I didn't even realize it was low. Okay. Oh, I had it open because I had a mobile game on. Oh, and I was AFKing on a mobile game.
Thank you, Blitz Boost, for the follow. Really appreciate it.
Hey, what up, Blitz?
We're at 137. That's pretty good. We have a goal of getting to 200 followers this year. and also getting to 20 subs. So if you guys are watching and really enjoying what we're doing, and want to just help us invest in ourselves with streaming, like, the subs do it.
Everything that we get from this goes back into this.
Yeah, we don't spend it on anything else. We spend it on...
No, that's what our day jobs are for.
This. Like, if you guys want face cam, you guys want different games, you guys want new games, new microphone, want to help us invest in controllers that doesn't make us turn the wrong way sometimes, like... That's what these subs will do, and, like, as I get more subs and more followers, I'm going to invest in, like, more community stuff. Like, right now, there's no point in it, but I would love to do, like, sub-only streams of, like, doing, like, community game night of some kind, you know? Community Jackbox, or Mario Kart, or something, I don't know. It'd be really cool to invest into later.
Yeah.
Among Us, other kind of like group games we could play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we probably want to make a list later, but like, yeah, that's just the idea. And going even as far as like, hey guys, if you like the Minecraft SMP of what we do on Friendcraft, like, if I get enough followers, I would mind opening a follower only SMP where it's just like, if you not follower, but subscribers.
Subscriber, yeah.
If you sub to me on Twitch, like, I would use that to open an SMP with just like just subscribers only, and it would just we could do community streams of like doing builds and stuff.
I think that would satisfy a lot of people, since we do get a lot of people who come in and ask to join the SMP.
Exactly. So I think that would be something that would be a little bit down the line. Like, I need to get 20 followers. Not 20 followers. I need to get 20 subs at least.
Mm-hmm.
And then have people that actually would want to play. Because, like, I'm not going to open a sub SMP for, like, 5 people. Like, I have to have, like, like 10, 12 more. Because that would be something that would be a major investment into. Because...
Yes.
No, those things are like a realm is like $12 a month, so major investments into. But it's among a lot of really cool ideas that I have that I really feel like I don't have the time to right now, or the motivation, because nobody is subbing. But maybe down the line that'll change as we continue to grow and become greater. That was a really interesting topic we had come up. We got a new follower for us talking about addictions. Mm-hmm. Addictions by PowerWashing. That's strange. Maybe sometimes people just like the transparencies of like, yeah, you know what? I relate to that.
It might be.
It's really hard. Stains are fighting you.
I'm just getting rid of the mud stuff first. And this one takes these stains off better.
Nice. Okay, cool. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Of course, tonight we're on this is stream number 22 of our streaming once a day streak. We're almost at 30, and to be totally honest with you, we might get to 30 and then just end it. I don't know what we're gonna do. I think when I talked to Kota about it before, I was just like, yeah, let's just try and get as far as we could, just to see if we can. And it's been a struggle. Like, some nights are easier than others, but other nights it's just like, oh, it's just so annoying. because we're just so tired from, like, again, working day jobs. It's really hard. We have to, like, maneuver this around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the other nights when I had, like, I did the Pokemon stream and the Minecraft stream the next night, I got done doing a double that night, so working, like, essentially 12 hours at work is insane, and then coming home and streaming, it's just, like, the energy is, like, gone.
Yeah. Speaking of, how long have we been going?
An hour.
Ah, okay.
I think we might actually finish this yard up and then probably end for a night.
Yeah.
There's not that much left, right?
Not at this point, no. I don't think.
But speaking of movie trailers, we seen a really awesome one earlier for an action movie.
That kind of looks like a new, like, Kill Bill.
Yeah, like, it looks like it was, like, heavily inspired by Kill Bill, by, like, the style, the set pieces, very old school Japanese fighting stuff, it looks like.
Yeah.
Really cool. I'm really excited for it. I can't remember what the name of the title was, but it was Kill Something. Or blank
It
kill
was like
blank.
Boy Kills World or something.
Yeah, Boy Kills World, I think it was, actually.
I wonder if it's a reference to, like, Boy Meet World or something.
The old Disney Channel show?
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
I thought there were... I don't know. I didn't know what it was. I had just heard of it.
I was going to say, it had
I never watched it.
It had a sequel show on the APC network that was Girl Meets World.
I never watched that either.
Oh. Really? I thought that would have been your demographic.
No, it was just iCarly.
Oh.
And Victorious for a little bit.
Man, that show, I can't believe...
That was more of my sister's show. I just watched it with her.
I can't... Well, I liked both those shows, and I'll be totally honest with you. I was shocked iCarly got 4 seasons, but Victorious got 2. Got 2 seasons and it ended.
I think a lot of people got the two kind of confused. Because I know at first I was like...
I think it's because they...
Is this supposed to be like a spin-off of iCarly? Like, that's what I thought.
I think it's because the 2 shows before the other one came, they, like, were sharing actors.
Exactly. You were seeing those same actors, and you're like...
Even though they weren't the same characters. They were just the same actors.
Yeah, they were different characters, but the same actors, who played very similar characters, though. And I think that's where some of that trouble comes in as
one
well.
of them was, Andre especially, was one that I come to mind with, where he was part of, like, an iCarly, like, hour-long special, where iCarly got, like, the premise was iCarly got a deal to become, like, a Hollywood TV show from their web show into a TV show. And the guy that played Andre in Victorious was in that show, and he played a lead guitarist in the band that was a part of their TV show. And then later on in Victorious, he was a character who was very musically inclined, but he was a different character.
I mean...
But I think they were all
part of that probably makes sense, because if the actor himself is musically inclined, they'll bring that into his characters. But, like, don't...
He wore, like, the same outfits.
Oh my gosh.
Same hairstyle and everything.
Okay, yeah, that's much. Then it feels like you're just playing the same character over and over again.
It's just differences. One was just a very much, like, a cool dude playing guitar, and the other one is, like, a whole character. So it was almost like it was, like, a pseudo of the same character, where it was like, this is the same concept, but more, like, built out. Kind of like what you see with, see, sometimes when people make, like, their own projects, okay? They'll make projects with the idea of, like, I like this. Okay, so, like, for example, tons of people really feel like Rick Riordan, when he wrote Percy Jackson, that he was heavily inspired by the world of Harry Potter.
Okay. I could see it,
Because
yeah.
they have similar concepts, but they have, like, different kind of characters that they built into their world. But you can see kind of like a blueprint of, like, okay, so this character is this kind of archetype. See, sometimes when people make their own worlds when they're writing stories,
you do take inspiration.
You take inspiration.
Yeah.
Like, you don't copy it, but you take inspirations where it's just like...
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say very much about my current project, but it takes a lot of inspiration from Maximum Ride.
I think it's a lot of reason why the internet show Death Battle, I think is a big reason why that show has legs on it, because a lot of times when you see characters fight each other on their shows, it's just like, yeah, these characters are super similar, and there's a good chance they were inspired by each other. Like, one of the ones that came to mind first for me was, like, Lionel from Thundercats and He-Man. 80s cartoon characters, super buff, had the same kind of archetype of, like, their man-child. They're both kind of man-child characters. And they have alter egos. And they have magic swords. And their shows were basically made to promote toys.
I don't know. My mom loved He-Man, though.
I think it's a generational thing, though. I think it's the same kind of thing that we're gonna run to our kids, where we're just like, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes.
But
we already do.
But they'll be like, but mommy, Bluey.
I mean, I love Bluey.
But Bluey's got nothing on Avatar.
I also love Avatar: Last Airbender.
Bluey's got nothing on Avatar's style of show.
No, it's completely different though. Like, Bluey is a really great kids cartoon that they can, like, learn from.
Not to say there's not lessons in Avatar, but that's definitely a show that...
There's a lot of more emotional lessons in there,
morality and mature less. Like, I think it's something that when they become, like, around the age of, like, 10... 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. It deals with complex
issues, and especially when you get to Legend of Korra, it deals with very complex issues and themes.
Korra was designed for the audience of Avatar, who grew up watching Avatar, to have a show that grew up with them.
Yeah, and then a lot of people hated it, though.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why. Because people expected more of the same. They didn't expect the show to be so, like, complex.
Yeah.
I think when I watched Korra, it was perfect for a time in my life where I was, like, wanting... I didn't want to watch cartoons. I wanted to watch more serious shows.
Yeah.
And Korra came around, and
like
I was just...
Justice League.
Yeah.
Or
like
Young Justice.
I mean. Oh, I love I'm still so sad I haven't watched, like, the final 2 seasons of Young Justice.
I mean, I never finished watching it either.
It's so good.
I didn't watch Young Justice a lot. I just watched, like, if it was on.
Before we got together, that was one of my shows I was binging on the side. So, like, I had The Flash, but if I wanted to watch something more, like, a little more lighthearted but serious still, I turned Young Justice on Netflix and watched the hell out. I watched it from, like, beginning to end. And hated that it ended on a cliffhanger, only for it to actually, like, come back in, like, 2019 with, like, 2 more seasons. And I haven't even watched those because they're on HBO Max, and I'm not paying for HBO Max, guys. I don't believe in streaming services where it's like, you'll love our content library. That's just content from our studio.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Like, I'd rather just have a general thing like Netflix where it's like a little taste of everything.
Yeah, but even Netflix isn't like that anymore because
No,
everyone wants their own rights to their own
it's
things.
changing. Which is why VPN services make so much money nowadays, though. Because it's just in America where it's like we've got like a issue of like too many streaming services. Around the world, a lot of people still use like Netflix, Hulu as like a generic streaming service that has everything on it.
Interesting.
America's streaming service
I didn't even know
content
that.
library is just broken. Yeah, that's why you'll just go to like you can like change your VPN to like a different country and all of a sudden you have shows on it that would not be on our version of Netflix because of the rights issue. And
Interesting.
there's actually a lot of streaming services that we have in the US that doesn't exist in other countries because they haven't expanded yet, or they might not ever expand because a lot of countries still have TV and still are happy with having TV, which, nothing wrong with that. That's, old school and all. And
As long as it makes sense.
And, like, it's better prices.
Like, one of our biggest things with cable was that for us it didn't make sense. Like, we were only watching, like, 2 shows and paying for all of these sports channels that just came with it. And we just were talking about how neither of us really watch sports at all. So
yeah, because they also did
the basic package was a bunch of sports shows that cost like their premium, but they're part of the basic package. So we were paying for all these sports networks that we never ever would watch.
And they would have and we probably would have watched more shows, but the problem is also they had these pre-made packages of well, if you want to watch this channel because this show is on it, you need to buy this package that has all these other channels that you're not interested in at all.
Yeah.
If they had a system of okay, you want cable? What channels are you interested?
I wish you could customize your package more. That's a thing they advertise.
Here,
customize your package. But you really only get to customize it so much. You get to say, I want these channels, and they tell you, okay, well then we're also going to add in these channels because it comes with this package.
Yeah, I wish
it's not
it'd be
really
a system
a customization.
Okay, you get 20 channels, okay, and this is how much it is per month, but you get to choose what 20 channels you want.
Right, that would be great.
That would be perfect for us. Heck, I wish streaming services would do that, where it's just okay, I want to be able to watch these 20 shows and pay for watching these 20 shows. And that's it. So I don't need to have new season of Mandalorian's out. I need Disney Plus. Oh look, there's a new season of Invincible. I need Amazon Prime. Oh look, there's Supernatural again. I need Netflix.
Yeah, all these streaming services together, they cost the same
as
just having cable.
As premium cable, not even just basic cable. Premium cable.
Yeah.
This table looks like a pain to clean, by the way.
It is.
From watching it, I'm just I
bet you're glad that you did the van now, huh?
I mean, the van was just annoying how easy it was and how picky it was. This is just annoying by I can't believe how many different items this table alone has on it. But yeah, at some point, Kota, we should sit down and watch Young Justice together. I think you really enjoy watching, because the biggest problem with Young Justice watching it on TV was they used to change what time they would show new episodes on constantly.
That's probably why I never.
It was really hard,
to...
even for me who was trying to watch it constantly to watch new episodes. It was hard even for me, much more like you who might have been watching it more casually.
I was.
So if you
I liked it, but it definitely was more casual.
If we sat down and actually binge watched it, and you could watch the storyline, different threads of things, because they do a really good job of you think the story's going one way, but then suddenly everything switched because there was hints.
Changed from the Fire Nation.
Yeah, there was hints of other stuff that was happening that you just thought were one-offs, but really they were just oh my gosh, it was right in front of our face the whole time, and you had no idea. Well, I guess I don't want to spoil it because there is
Yeah, don't spoil it.
there is a couple of really good ones, but the end of season 1 has like the best one actually because of just one simple thing that you just never notice with a character that like has a lot of screen time. So like you could have noticed it if you're very observant, but a lot of people just were like, "Oh, that guy's just a jerk." But yeah, it's just they did a really good job at writing it, and actually that show was what introduced me to like a lot of DC characters that I didn't really know a lot of information about. So it was almost like I was like learning new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had like the whole Justice League, they would try and like have episodes where different heroes would teach the kids different stuff and be involved in different lessons of the day. And sometimes you had heroes where it was just like, I don't know who you are, but you're really cool. Like the first one I think of is Guardian, where he's basically like DC's Captain America. Where he wears a gold helmet and he has a gold shield, and he's just a dude that's just really good at like he's just super athletic, and that's really it.
Okay.
Yeah. And like he's called Guardian because he's like Earth's chosen human guardian.
You mean it's not Batman?
No. No, unless it's Gotham, it's not Batman. Batman cares about the Earth if it involves Gotham. That's kind of what you kind of get the vibe from Batman. There's a really good episode of Young Justice with Batman that's really funny where he has to confront Superman about being a father, and it's really funny because you're just like, Batman giving father lessons? So like in the show right away you meet Superboy, who's a clone of Superman, who isn't actually technically Superman's son, but he is like a younger Kryptonian. That is basically like he is like a preteen Superman who has no guidance, who's just like super angsty. And at some point Batman has to like confront Superman and be like, hey, can we have a talk? And they have like a father chat at like a coffee store and like their secret identities. And like their secret identities, like no suits and everything. And Batman's like giving him like actual like fodder lessons of like, yeah, you need to be there for him because otherwise you don't want to see him turning out into a person that you don't want. You gotta be. He just basically told him you gotta be there for your son, even if you don't want to accept him. You have to accept the fact that he is related to you, and you don't want to see him turning into something that you don't want to have to deal with later. Referring to him just making bad decisions as just a superpower Kryptonian who doesn't really have any kind of sense of like... See, Superman has like a sense of like empathy. But that's because he was raised in a certain way where he understood the little man. Oh, and something else I wanted to make sure and mention is Kota actually has an Etsy store right now.
Yep, just went live today, actually.
You want to announce what it's called?
So it's called Petaled Pages. PETAL apostrophe D PAGES. Except on Etsy, I can't put the apostrophe, so it's just PETALDPAGES.
Wait, why can't you
and it's
put
all
the
one word.
Why can't you put the apostrophe?
They don't allow special characters, apparently.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Strange. Maybe it's like a link thing.
Maybe, I don't know.
But yeah, Petaled Pages.
Petaled Pages.
She's selling some printables.
Yep, I'm selling printables.
And before you think, it's not art. Like it's not art or anything. It's actually like they're
like note pages and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
So currently, I only have one item posted, with more that are currently being made. The one that I have up right now is like a book review tracker. And the reason why that's the one that I started with is just because me personally, I was unable to find anything that I really liked to track my reading progress and my reviews. And I found that really frustrating, so I just decided to make my own and decided that I would make that available to other people in case anyone has the same issue that I do or just wants to be a little bit more organized with their book reviews or reading trackers.
But yeah, make sure and check out her store if you're interested in it. And also, she is bound to release more stuff too eventually.
And it's very cheap too. I didn't want to make it stupid expensive. It's just a printable page. So it is very reasonably priced as well.
And much like what I do with my Twitch, like profits for it will probably go towards Etsy if I had to guess.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Yeah, because then I can pay for a website or domain, which is like on Etsy. Like if you go through them, it's $15 a month. Which I'm like, that's not much, but I feel like it's a lot for a website, for one thing. And for another thing, I'm just like, well, I only just started this thing, so I'm not comfortable, like, committing more money to it yet.
Yeah, yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see how it does. If it does well, then yes, I'll be investing more into it.
So be excited for that, guys. She's really been working hard on it, and it's something that I want to make sure I mention here, because I'm just like, hey, you know what, like, why not mention it? I know it's probably not the same audience be interested in both, but who knows? Actually, who knows? So
I am.
Exactly. So check it out, love it, and watch out for more stuff, because she is working on more stuff currently, and
yes.
they're really
currently,
cool.
I'm working
they're really cool too.
I'll give a little sneak peek. Currently, I'm working on some printable recipe pages, and I make them look cute, so you don't have to. I know a lot of people nowadays are very like aesthetically inclined. A lot of people really love things to be aesthetic, which I totally get. I am the same way, but I have to make it myself. I'm that person. I have to make it myself and put a lot of time and effort into it. Otherwise, I'm never properly satisfied with it. So, you know, if I'm able to make that process easier for someone else, I feel like that's well worth it.
Yep. Well, his yard is starting to look really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think you have that. I think you don't have that much left. 4
Just
items.
these things, yeah.
Yeah. Some great progress. If you guys been enjoying the chatting during Power Wash Simulator, make sure and check out our other videos. We do a lot of chatting in our videos just about general topics, but of course, if you guys also just would love to just hear us talk more, we're going to be making a podcast here soon.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be something that you can look out for. We'll talk more, probably more topics in this too. Oh. Yeah, so we're going to be opening a podcast of more general topic conversations and probably just a little bit of everything. And then if you guys are interested in like listening to us react to things, I'm thinking about doing a react channel with us where we're just going to watch stuff and react to it live. So let me know down below in the comments if you guys would be interested in that. I know react channels go crazy on YouTube, and I want to make sure that it's something you guys be interested in me doing too, or if I should not sink that low for reactions. So I know some people are just like, oh gosh, reaction channel, it's over now. But it's just like, you know, some people like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I've got all of that.
So there's been a trend going on lately.
Mm-hmm.
So Bedrock just got the hardcore setting for Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's a trend going on of people mad about hardcore Minecraft.
Why?
Well, now the problem is because Bedrock got hardcore Minecraft, suddenly the hardcore Minecraft videos is oversaturated. And everybody's just like, I'm so bored of like, I did this in hardcore Minecraft. Like, it's just a basic video title has been going around for a while of like, hardcore Minecraft, I did this. Hardcore Minecraft, I'm doing this. And like,
okay, well, I'm about to sound really heartless, but
yeah,
find another way to fix your boredom. You know what? People need to learn how to be okay with being bored. Boredom is actually like good for you sometimes, and people need to learn how to sit with boredom and stop trying to just, you know, fill the silence.
Yeah.
And get rid of the boredom. It is genuinely good for your brain, good for the health of your brain to be bored sometimes. And by the way, if you happen to be a parent and you're watching this or listening to this, make sure to allow your kids to be bored sometimes. There's too many parents nowadays who jump to like giving their kids their phones or tablets or whatever else just in a desperate attempt to not allow their kid to be bored. But it is so good for kids' development, for their brain development, for their health, like for their emotional and mental health. It is so good for them to learn how to handle boredom from a young age. And I mean, I'm also from a generation where that trying to stop kids from being bored was already starting to take effect. It wasn't as bad with the tablets and stuff at that point, but it was definitely starting to happen where, you know, I went to school and everyone at school had a cell phone and I didn't. And like my parents would try to come up with activities and stuff for me to do so that I wouldn't always be bored or complaining that I'm bored.
I think the biggest difference is, though, back when we went to school, though, especially when we were in the lower grades, having a cell phone was just making calls and texting.
Yeah.
They weren't complex like they are now, where it's like you have every app known to man for all kinds of crap. I think it was when I was in the higher grades that finally, like, the iPhone was starting to come, like, around here. The iPhone had been around since 2007, okay? But in our area, iPhones weren't common for children for quite a while, I think. What are you doing? Oh.
Trying to get up on this roof, but it won't really let me.
And started, like, and that's when the whole trend of, like, there's an app for that. There's an app for this. There's an app for that.
Yes. And now it's kind of come full circle where there genuinely is an app for everything. Anything you can think of, there's an app for it.
Yep.
There we go.
But, yeah, when we were growing up, like, cell phones were much more simpler and didn't have a lot to them. Like, if your phone had a game on it, you were the coolest kid in school. My first cell phone, and what game it had on it? It had, like, a rip-off Frogger and Tetris.
Hey, Tetris is a good game.
Like, a very simple Tetris. But, yeah, the rip-off Frogger was, like, you were a car, and you are trying to make it across the road of other cars without getting hit.
That sounds like one of those little handheld games.
Yeah, it was a very simple. It wasn't
where you were like trying not to get hit by the other cars.
Yeah, it was like black. It was like black, red, and gray was the colors of this game. Your car.
It even had red.
Your car.
Ooh,
yeah,
fancy.
your car was red. The other ones.
Now
were
we're sounding
black,
like old people
and
right
the ground
now.
was gray. Yeah.
Like if there's any kids watching this right now.
I wish I knew what the name of that game was so I can like find screenshots of it. But it was very rudimentary, and also I had solitaire. I had solitaire on my phone.
Ooh. You know, my mom's first cell phone, she had like a very basic, basically Sims on it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
but like
crazy.
It was super basic where she basically just had a Sim.
It just sounds like a Tamagotchi then.
It basically was. She had a Sim and her job was to keep the Sim alive. But it went on real time from her phone. So she had to check on it every single day or it would die. Wow. And it died so many times. And then eventually she gave up on it.
Yeah, I would too after a while. My Tamagotchis never lived that long too.
I never actually had a Tamagotchi.
So in one of my later phones I had like an app that was like a Tamagotchi app.
Mm-hmm. But
yeah, it never lived that long for the exact same reason where it ran on real time. I was not always on my phone, so I just...
Right, especially with, like, school and stuff.
Was terrible, especially having the school where you couldn't have your phone out at all.
Yeah.
Kids today where it's just, like... Back when I went to school, like, if you had your...
Today. You literally said the line.
Yeah, if you had your phone out during class, it's gone. Like, you can't... Not even, like, a situation where it's, like, off. If your phone's, like, on your desk or anywhere where it can be seen, they're taking it.
Yeah.
And it's going to the principal's office. Not even, like, your teacher's desk.
No.
And then you get it at the end of the day when school's over. And if
or you don't even get it. They call your parent and your parent has to come pick it up.
Yeah, and that's even if you're a multiple offender, that's what they would do.
Yeah, especially.
And sure, yeah, you just be like, well, my mom will just give it back to me. Yeah, but then it's the issue of, like, your parent has to waste their time to go get you from school, especially if you ride a bus. They would just be like, oh my gosh, I gotta get them from school now suddenly. And then go inside and get a phone that they got to you as, like, probably a privilege, if I had to guess, and you're getting in trouble for it.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of more of a privilege. Yeah.
Yeah, especially was for me growing up where it was like my parents had a house phone too. Kota's
yeah.
Kota's parents did too.
Yes, we had our little house phone on the wall in the kitchen.
See, we didn't have a wall house phone. We actually had a wireless hand phone. That was our house phone for a little bit.
Man, that was like the fancy one.
But, oh, that's weird. Okay. It just cleaned itself again on the top. You didn't even touch the top. It was like clean. But yeah, that was our house phone for a little bit, and then eventually we got rid of it and just had cell phones, which is my parents were very like ahead of the time when it came to that. By the way, guys, like my parents were just like they got their house phone in like 2007. Like that's when they cut their cord for their house phone, but just still had cable. And they were just like, no, we're just gonna have cell phones, and that's it. I still remember one of my dad's like first cell phones was it was a Razor. And it was like a cell phone that was like super popular at the time because like it had it was a flip phone that was like, it was so thin, okay? So it was like it was so thin, it was like a freaking those thin Oreos, it was like the width of that when it was folded. And then they had like a front screen on it that glowed blue, and then it had like, you open it up, it had like buttons on the inside that weren't like buttons that you press, they were like touch buttons, where it was like you touch the button and it's like you pressed it. And guess what happened to that phone for why he had to get rid of it? The touch buttons wore out.
Oh, wow.
So, like, eventually...
I guess because it was, like, a new technology at that point.
I think so, because when you would text, you had to press a button multiple times. I guess my dad was just texting a lot or something, and it just...
that figures.
It wore out.
The other day at work, we had a conversation with an older woman, and somehow we got on the topic of rotary phones.
Rotary, yeah.
And how, like, Gen Z or millennials have no clue how to use a rotary phone. They just look at it and they're like, what do you even do with this?
How do you press the buttons with these?
Well, you don't press the buttons. You turn the buttons. That's why it's a rotary phone. That's why it's called, like, it's in the name. It rotates. Basically, you press the number you want. Like, so it's got the little holes over each number. You put your finger in the number that you want to press, and you turn it all the way so that it inputs that number. It's actually really not that hard. It's very simple, really.
It was very futuristic for a time, too. Actually, it's still kind of very smart the way the system worked, too.
The technology required for that, though, is, like, quite impressive. I think. But also, I'm very impressed by a lot of the things that we can do now, so.
Kota isn't really a tech person.
No, not really.
Whenever something breaks, she usually needs my help. I had to show her how to actually get a file from her phone to her computer because she didn't know how to use Google, not Google Docs, but Google Drive.
I use Google Docs all the time.
Yeah, she didn't know how to use Google Drive. She didn't know that was like an easy file transfer that you can use.
I still don't 100% remember how to do it.
She was emailing things to her second email.
I still am.
And then she was getting super frustrated when she couldn't email something because it was too big.
Yes.
And which she still does.
Yep. So when it comes to videos, I get really frustrated. because, you know, the file size and all that. With emails. It doesn't like sending videos.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like texting videos. So I can't believe how in this day and age of like how technology has advanced, why can I not text people videos?
Okay,
Without it being like you have to cut it down.
Well, do you want the real answer or?
Sure, tell me. I want a real answer.
Okay. It's gonna sound conspiracy theory, but it's not. I swear to you that it's not. It's because we do have the technology to be able to send videos easy peasy. People do it all the time. The problem is they want you to pay more for such services. They want you to buy the newest and greatest phone for the promises of that kind of technology. They rip us off on phones, really, is the thing. Like
Apple especially.
Apple especially, but Samsung is guilty of it too.
You know, speaking of Apple though, Apple actually came out and they're gonna start trying to be more cross-platform like.
Okay.
They're trying to convert technology together again, which I'm just like, guys, why did you put yourself on your own little island and now they're getting sued by the government for all this stupid stuff. Like they had to change their charging ports because the government was just like, look how much waste we have for having two main charging ports.
Mm-hmm.
Like majority of the world was using a C charging port, like Samsung phones use it. And then Apple was like the only phone company that used the lightning cable. Why? Because they wanted to be different. That's it.
It's not that they want it to be different specifically. It's that they want to promote only using their products. So, like, that type of charger works for all their products, but no one else's.
No one else's. There wasn't their phone company.
They want to promote, like, a sort of loyalty to their own product.
But after getting in trouble from the governments, like, the United Nations got onto them. Not even just the U.S. government. The United Nations got onto them.
Nice.
They're finally actually trying to, like, make a point to, like, oh, yeah, we should be more inclusive. Like, trying to, like, bring in other phone companies' designs into, like, our products. So now they're actually trying to work on making you know how iPhones have, like, a different kind of messaging system, right?
Yeah.
They have iMessage. So they're trying to make iMessage for Androids. So Android has their own kind of messaging system, like iMessage. Yes, where just like with iMessage, if I send Kota a message, it shows me when she gets it, when it gets delivered, and when she reads it. Apple's trying to make it where the two technologies can talk to each other to relay the same informations to each other, as if we also have iMessage too. Finally, after like years of people complaining about like.
It only took the United Nations to get onto them. Yeah,
and getting like a bunch of fines. And guess what it was too? It wasn't even for like all the stuff of like being too exclusive and being a monopoly. It was because of like the only thing Apple couldn't stop, global warming.
Oh, well, if they're gonna blame Apple for global warming, what they need to do
is
talk about the freaking cobalt mines.
Well, that's probably going to be something eventually they get onto them for. Cause
I don't think so.
I think it's a long line, but they're just like, look at all the waste from all these wires from phone chargers. And look how we have two main phone chargers in the world, and one of them's Apple, who has phone chargers just for their products.
Mm-hmm.
They got onto them for that, and that's what made them change it. They got fined by the United Nations for global warming, for pollution.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I still can't figure out the fact that, okay, you'll get on the Apple for that, but like, there's all these fast food companies that use boxes and plastic and papers and cups.
Okay, well, because that's a different thing, That's for sanitary reasons. It's the same reason why they can't get onto hospitals for single-use plastics and stuff. And for throwing away, like, towels and blankets and all of this stuff. They can't get onto hospitals because it's for sanitary reasons.
But I think the other issue is
because
the fact that...
if they're not using single-use stuff, then depending on what it is and how it's being used, that could be a health code violation.
I think the other issue that I come into is the fact that Apple's not the ones physically throwing their products into the ocean.
Okay, so in that case, get on to...
the consumer.
No, not the consumer. Stop getting onto the consumer. Stop getting onto the damn consumer. Okay? I'm sick of this shit where it's like, oh, well, if you want to stop global warming, then you need to vote with your dollar and stuff. No, companies need to be made a little bit more responsible for their own actions. We don't need to be putting the actions of companies and corporations and putting that responsibility on the consumers. No. Like, yeah, there are some instances where you can vote with your dollar. There are some, but it's not nearly as much as people think.
Especially not anymore.
Huh?
Especially not anymore.
What do you mean? What do you mean not anymore?
Well,
actually, it's more so now.
Well, there's so many companies that you can boycott, like, say Amazon, for example. You can boycott Amazon all you want, but they're such a big industry themselves where...
Oh, yeah.
Either way, they're making $1 trillion a day, even if you don't buy something, because other people are.
This is true. It's sort of like the whole H&M greenwashing thing.
Yeah.
And apparently a lot of people still don't know about this, which is why a lot of people are still shopping at H&M. And a lot of people are still buying the bullshit. And I mean that figuratively. People are buying the bullshit that they're actually like a green company and trying to be more environmentally friendly and stuff. They're not, by the way. They're not. Because if you actually look at their promises and stuff online and you actually look at their practices, it's all greenwashing.
Isn't Shein the same kind of story too?
Shein never claims to be.
Okay, good.
No, they never claim to be environmentally friendly or conscious or anything.
Okay. Well, I guess good but terrible, because they're also a terrible offender.
But they also are guilty of, like, treating their workers very badly.
That's an interesting thing about H&M too. Like, there are people that are actually waking up to the H&M thing, but
very few.
The problem is there's still so many people that are already shopping there anyway that it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It just needs to be spoken about more.
Even myself, like, I'll go in and look at their stuff because they have very cute, trendy things. And sometimes even they've got some really good quality pieces for very cheap. And then I'm like, okay, I see you, H&M. And I might even buy from you. But... let's see. I'm missing some stuff over here. There we go. Ah, this side.
Wow, just a little crevice.
Okay. No, on this side. Okay. Retaining walls.
What is the retaining walls?
Which retaining walls? Swing, sofa, chains. I see. There we go. Fence tops.
Oh, there, maybe?
Like these here. That's fence post. Fence post. Fence top. Oh, wait, actually. I'm gonna need my little thingy here. Top? No. Top, but it looks like that one's
She
done.
actually is drinking the water from in here.
Told you she would.
Up here?
Wonder. Well, kinda.
Game really does not want you to do this, but you're doing it.
Well, it just doesn't hit anything when I go too far. What about this? Fence post. Fence post. Trellis. Fence top. That's this part here. Is there something just like on the underneath? Yep. And retaining walls. Which ones? Retaining wall. Looks like that one's done. Oh, this one. Ah. Right there. Sneaky, sneaky.
Yeah, I would have never found that.
There we go.
Nice.
All right.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, look how satisfying. Alrighty. So we're gonna end there for tonight, guys.
Oh, there's branching paths in this game? That's cool.
You can do all of them.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like you choose one, you have to do another. You can't do the other ones.
No, yeah, you do all of them.
Okay. Well, that'll be all for this time, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed. We've talked about a lot of various stuff, and keep in mind, guys, it's just all our opinions.
Yep.
You guys don't have to agree with us. Actually, if you don't agree, comment down below. I'd love to hear some stories and things, and maybe even some actuallys.
Heck yeah.
Because Kota loves our
I'm all for the actually.
Kota loves our
I am that person sometimes.
She will go after you.
I will.
But I will see you guys next time, guys.
Especially those internet Karens. They better watch out for me.
Yeah.
It's like that's when I really like pulling out the actually card is when it comes to internet Karens who think that they know stuff but they don't. But yeah, anyway, that's it for me tonight. I need to go to bed. It's past my bedtime.
We all need to. We'll see you guys next time, guys. Have a good night. Me and Jimmy Gamer and Kota signing out. Namaste.
Namaste.